Alright, fine. So today we'll be covering the concept of object-oriented programming, right? And basically, oops, fine. This is the background for Selenium, right? Because the complete Selenium API is object-oriented in nature. Fine. So out here, the first thing which I will do is that I will go to my Eclipse. I'll open your workspace which we had made yesterday. Alright. Now there are many things in object-oriented programming. The first thing which we will be seeing is we will be seeing how to build the simple objects. Okay, right. So give me guys. So out here we had made this project yesterday. We will make a new project known as day 2. All right. So in day 2, we will be starting with object-oriented programming. We'll be seeing how to build simple objects. Okay, and what is the relevance of object, what is static, what is non-static. Okay, when you have the main function, public static void main. Okay, right. This is static in nature. What is this static? We will be studying that. Okay, right. Let me create a new Java project known as day 2. Okay, in this day 2 project I will create a new class, right? And I will simply name that a very simple class like car class. Okay, right. Now in the car class you have a variable string name. What are the properties of the car? Int price. This is the car class. I have given two properties in it. Right. Fine. And I'm going to do something known as creating object of this class. Okay. So I'll just create one more class known as test.java, which will be referring this car class. Okay. And in test.java, okay, I'll just come up with the main function. And out here, I'll write new car. Okay, right. I will write car. So this is known as creating object of the class car. Now what happens when you create the object of the class? Okay, what is the real meaning of creating the object? Okay, right. I'll show you with the help of a diagram. Out here, okay, when you create the object of the class, inside this object you get two properties, name and price. Okay, right, fine. So these are the two properties in this particular object. In this object I will have two properties, name, price. Okay, and we can refer this object. Okay, To refer this object, you need to create an object reference. Right now, you cannot refer this object. Okay, I can create as many objects as I want. I can create one more object. So what happens in the memory? One more object will be allocated. It will have the property name and price. But to access these properties, right? To access these properties, you need to have something known as object reference, which will point towards this object. Okay, fine. For example, you can write out here car C1. Okay, car C1 will point towards this object and car C2 will point towards the second object. With C1 and C2, you can change the states of the objects, right? So this is C1, this is C2. Okay, you can change the state of the objects from here. Okay, right. So with C1 and C2, you can change, you can write over here like this C1 dot. When you put a dot, you will get the option like name is car A. Okay, C2 dot name, you can call say car B. Alright, you can write C1 dot price 100 and C2 dot price 100. Okay, right. So in this objects, this becomes A, this becomes 100, this becomes B, this becomes 200. So you can create many objects of this class, and in every object you can put a different property for name and price and all. Okay, right. So out here, uh, if I go out here, if I write system.out.println c1.name and dot name. So if I run this code, it will print A and B. Alright, fine. But you need to make one thing sure, that object reference is different and object is different. This is object and this is the object reference points towards the object. You can also declare like this, like car C3 equals to null. That means there is a reference C3 which is not pointing anywhere. Okay, right. And by writing C3 equals to new car on the next line, I can make it point towards the object of the class car, and you can write say C3 dot name is car C. Okay, fine. So for every object you can have different properties. Fine. Class is only one, having just two variables. Okay, there is just one class which has got two variables. Alright, and this is the test class. which I am creating the object of this class and all everything. Okay, fine. All right. I hope you have got my point. So now out here it points towards another object. Now I can write over here C1 equals to C2. When you write C1 equals to C2, what does this mean? This means that C1 will point towards, now C1 will be removed from here. It will point towards another object. Okay, the object to which C2 points. So C1 and C2 will both will point towards the same object. Okay, fine. In this case, if I write the same thing over here and run the code, it will print B for both of them because both of them are pointing towards the place where C2 was pointing. Okay, right. Now, if I write say C1 dot name is Z, so what C1 will do? C1 will change this name to Z. And if I print the same thing, C1 dot name and C2 dot name, if I print the same thing, it will be printing Z again. Okay, all right, fine. I hope you understood my point. Okay, I hope you understood my point. Now, this is done. This is about creating objects. Right. Now you can also have functions. For example, a class can have a function like public void start, and inside it you can print system.out.println starting car and the name of the car. Alright, I'll write out here starting the car and I will car which is so out here starting car and the name of car. So out here if I call the function c1 dot start, c2 dot start, c3 dot start, if I call all these functions, okay, and if I run this code, it's going to print starting car z, starting car z and starting car c. Okay, it the start function will also be the part of every object. Okay, start function will be the part of every object. Okay, fine. So it depends if C1 calls the start object or C2 or C3, it will print the corresponding name. Okay, it will be printing the corresponding name depending on who will be calling the function. Okay, right. Now Suppose there is a property like in the car class, there is a property like int wheels. All right. And when we are creating the object of this car class, I can write c1.wheels are 4. Okay. I can also write c2.wheels are 4. I can also write c3.wheels are 4. Okay. Now, this doesn't make any sense because unnecessarily I am putting the same value. Obviously, all the cars will have 4 wheels. So I am putting the same value in every object. Right. Now, to avoid this, because obviously every car will by default have 4 wheels. So we don't need to put this as a part of the object because all the objects will be having this. Right. So you if you put wheels, then all the cars will be having 4 wheels, which is a little weird thing. Okay. Right. What we do is that to solve this issue, we make wheels static. Okay. Right. When you on just a minute. Yeah. When you make this variable static, then what happens is that these will no static stuff will no longer remain in the object. It will reside somewhere else in the memory. Okay, right. And all the objects can refer it from here. Static no longer remains the part of the object. Okay, that's why if you open your test.java, it will give you a warning sign over here, yellow warning sign. Okay, right. All right. Yellow warning sign will be there. This means that basically it's not a part of the object. So stop accessing it this way. So static should not be accessed this way. Okay. To access static, you can directly use the class name. You can write car dot wheels are 4. Okay. Right. So this is the thing. Alright, car dot wheels are 4. When you write this, then all the cars by default will have 4 wheels. So this variable is known as non-static. This is also known as non-static variable. This is known as static variable. Okay. This is known as non-static function. So static is something which can directly be accessed with the name of the class. Right. Okay. I hope you got my point. Fine. Right. Anybody with any questions? Anyone? Any question? Fine. Now in Selenium, everything is inbuilt. If you look at the Selenium API, right? If you look at the Selenium API, hold on, it will launch. A minute. Right. If you look at, if you go to the website seleniumhq.org, okay, right. Then if you go to the download section and if you open this Java doc, it is the documentation of Selenium. Then these are all the classes which are present in Selenium. We create the objects of these classes and we work with them. Okay. For example, there is a class known as Firefox driver. Okay, fine. And this class helps us to simulate Firefox. On my PC, it will work, but not on your PC. If I just create the object of this internal class, if I write new Firefox driver, okay, fine. And if I include the jar files of Selenium in the project, the way I did it yesterday, if I include the Selenium jars, right, I will get the option to import this driver as well. And if I run this code, you will see that a blank Firefox will open just by creating the object of this class. Right, fine, alright. Now, I hope you got my point. Similarly, for Chrome, you have Chrome driver. You have different driver classes in Selenium. Fine, if I scroll down, you will see something written as WebDriver out here. Okay, right. WebDriver will be written out here. Alright, if you open this, these are the driver classes. Fine. Okay, right. For example, Safari driver is for Safari. Safari driver and Opera driver are not very stable. Okay, lot of things they don't work in it. But primarily, Chrome driver, Edge driver is good for Edge browser, Firefox driver is there, Internet Explorer driver is there. Right, fine. And the best part is that all the driver classes they represent one or the another browser. Fine. And they can help us automate the browser. So all these driver classes have some features or some functions which are unique to automate the flow on that browser. Alright, fine. So we create the objects of these driver classes. Okay. Now anybody with any questions? Anything? Right. So our whole training will be around these classes. Remote WebDriver. This is used in case of Selenium GRID. Okay, if you have to run the test cases parallelly, then you use Selenium GRID. Okay, fine. Right. Now out here, let me create a new class known as Selenium Driver and explain you about drivers. Fine. Hold on. Just 1 minute. Now we have got different drivers: Firefox, Chrome, I. Different drivers are there. Okay. Now for Firefox, let's start with Firefox. First thing is that you need to download, scroll down, you will see this Mozilla Gecko driver. Okay, this is the latest version. Go over here. Alright, fine. Okay, and Gecko driver, Windows 32-bit, anything which you can download the zip file. And after downloading the zip file, you extract it. And in my PC, like I have kept the Gecko driver.exe file you will get. You can keep it at some location. And you copy the location. Okay. And in Eclipse, you need right. You need to write this command: system dot set property WebDriver dot Gecko dot driver the path of Gecko driver dot exe. Fine. Okay. You need to write this line. This is important. And then you create the object reference, that is Firefox driver fd equals to Firefox driver. So you keep this exe file, the path of exe like this. Otherwise it will not work. This everything is in the lower case. Okay. So when you run this code, a Firefox opens up. Fine. And it's like a blank Firefox. It's got nothing inside it. Okay. Right. Fine. All right. Now you can write Firefox driver dot. You will get lot of non-static functions. For example, a function like get, which will go to a URL like http google.com. So this will take Firefox to google.com. If you run this, I am using the version. I'll come over to the version of the Firefox as well. Okay. So if you run this code, the get function takes the Firefox to Google and if you open this, you see that Google has opened up. Fine. About the version of Firefox, if you talk about my version, then I am using 61. Okay. Look, I'll tell you something. Latest Firefox will be supported by latest Selenium. But if Firefox upgrades, say tomorrow version 62 comes up, then Selenium will not support it. You'll have to upgrade or wait for the upgrade. So it is better to work with one or two versions back in Firefox. Okay, you can go to Google and type Firefox older versions. Fine, you can type Firefox older versions, and in this website ftp.mozilla.org you will get all the versions of Firefox. Okay, you can download any version. So one or two versions, if you work back, it's always a safe thing. Okay, similarly you have got Chrome driver, iDriver, Edge driver. Okay, right. What I will do is, look, I will talk about these things: constructor, iDriver, Edge driver, and Chrome driver. I am actually, I have to leave a little bit early today. Okay,